What is going down, Niner Empire? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about the updated NFC playoff picture. I'm going to be going over how the 49ers can win the NFC, how they can get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and things of that nature. I'm going to talk about Seattle. All the NFC teams involved in this playoff picture. That's wild, that's crazy, that's so spread out. In this video, you're in the right spot for it. So, first of all, with the Niners losing yesterday to the Falcons, obviously that puts them back to 5th seed in the NFC, which that means they're in the wild card. So as of right now, if the playoffs started today, the 49ers would play the Cowboys in the wild card game. So that's how that would go. And I think we would play them in Dallas if that were to happen. So we would play Dallas in Dallas for the wild card if the playoffs started today. Now, if the 49ers want to get to the number 1 seed for the final remaining games, they have to beat the Rams next Saturday on that primetime game we got on Saturday. They also have to beat the Seahawks week 17 in Seattle. So that's what they have to do to secure number 1 spot in the NFC. Now, if they lose to the Rams, if they win against the Rams and they lose to Seattle, Seattle will take the NFC West, and obviously the 49ers will be the 5th seed at the wild card. So, it's really, for the Niners, I mean, not a lot changed from yesterday's loss as how they can get number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, because just because we lost today doesn't technically mean that we're not going to be number 1 seed. Thank God the loss was yesterday and not week 17. Hopefully it's not going to be week 17, at least, I should say. But really, in all reality, like, the form of it didn't really change yesterday for the 49ers trying to get to number 1 seed in the NFC. That race is still wide open for the 49ers to secure, and the 49ers can very likely do it if they show up against the LA Rams next Saturday, and if they can show up, not next Saturday, I guess I should say this Saturday. And obviously, if they show up week 17, December 28th, against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, and that game's going to be for the division, because if the 49ers win that game, they will win that division. And if Seattle loses next week, the 49ers can clinch the division. But obviously, it's going to be very hard to say if Seattle's going to lose next week. I don't really know who they play, but I know they're expected to win next week, because I have a friend that's a Seattle fan, and he's been chirping at me. So, either way, for Seattle, they have to win out, obviously, to get number 1 seed. And then for the 49ers, if the 49ers want to get number 1 seed, obviously they have to win out as well. Beat the LA Rams this week, and then obviously beat the Seattle Seahawks week 17. So it's very possible. It's still wide open for the 49ers to claim number 1 seed in the NFC. Obviously, this has got to start with a win against the Rams next week. I'm going to make a preview video on that probably Wednesday or Thursday, one of those days. I don't really like making them too early in the week. I like doing it after the current week's over. So probably Wednesday or Thursday, like I said, I'll upload that video. And I'll give you my thoughts and predictions on that game. But, yes, the 49ers clinched the playoffs yesterday, but really, if you guys didn't see the post-game interview that Kyle Shanahan did, he said, a reporter asked him, how's it feel to clinch the playoffs for the first time since 2013? He said, yeah, it's nice, but this win don't help, pretty much soothe the end of the pain. It doesn't really help that we're in the playoffs, that we lost today. Yes, basically what he meant is, yes, we clinched the playoffs, yeah, whatever. We lost today. It's not really going to get our hopes up. It doesn't really get our hopes up that we clinched the playoffs, is what he basically meant. But like I said, there's no reason for high hopes to be dropped. I think the 49ers have a really good chance at still competing for the NFC Championship title. I think they have a very good chance. I think they're a very good, talented football team. I think with the injuries we had yesterday, I think that took a toll, but that's not the reason we lost. We were outcoached in that game, and it was it was shown on national television. We were outcoached. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, having a Richard Sherman against a Julio Jones would have helped. But a loss is a loss, a win is a win. We're in the playoffs. It's all 49ers fans could ask for. A lot of people expected us not even to make the playoffs, so at least we're in the playoffs. Anything's possible. The sky's the limit for this Niners team. And I'm keeping the faith. I'm still riding this train until the day I die. But at the end of the day, just because we lost yesterday shouldn't be a question mark for the 49ers going into the playoffs by any means necessary. I think that was a game where the 49ers were, they kind of underestimated their opponent. They were outcoached. And I'm going to be the first to say the Falcons should be a team that wins 10-plus games. This Falcons team you have, could be a team that wins 10-plus games. It was just really the coaching with Dan Quinn for the defense, and once he get that play calling up, they've been winning games. We're not the only really good team that lost to the Falcons. The Falcons actually lost to the Saints a few weeks ago, and the Falcons beat them in New Orleans. So the Falcons have potential. It's just the coaching. They haven't been well coached, and they'll be a team to probably look out for next year. But at the end of the day, we were the better team. We are the better team by far. When we lost the game, we were outcoached. We didn't perform well. We didn't show up. The Falcons are not the better team, but they played like the better team yesterday, and obviously that's the reason they won. So, but with that being said, like I said, this NFC playoff picture is wild. There is a lot of good teams in the NFC that can win. The Packers are a very good football team. Saints, obviously, you can't count out Seattle. We'll see how it goes down. I'm really excited, though, for these playoffs. Thank God we're in the playoffs. First time since 2013. If you guys didn't watch my video yesterday, I covered us going into the playoffs. I kind of did like a reaction type thing. But obviously, we got into the playoffs because the Rams lost to the Cowboys. So obviously, with that loss, it put us in the playoffs. And so, good thing we secured a playoff spot, but really, for us, we want that home field advantage. We have to win these next 2 games. And guys are going to have to step up. We're going to have to, not be outcoached. Shanahan rarely was, I'm going to check my phone. Shanahan's rarely outcoached. He was rarely outcoached, this whole season. But yesterday, Dan Quinn was the better coach, and obviously that's why the Falcons won. So, NFC playoff picture is still wide open. Like I said, 49ers win their next 2 games. They're in they claim the NFC number 1 seed, so that's all they have to do. Win these next 2 games, kick the shit out of Seattle week 17, and stomp the NFC defending champ Rams. That's all we have to do. So, that being said, as always, go Niners, and I'll be back throughout this whole week with new videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.